We continue our coverage of the marijuana files now. Michael Talbot from CityNews.ca joins us. Mike, you've written this article online, which is 10 Things I Learned Trading Weed Stocks as a Rookie Investor. So when did you start investing in marijuana stocks?
I started in 2016, which is quite a ways before it was even passed, the legislation passed.
And
so
why did you decide to get involved back then?
Well, you know what? I was always very financially conservative, but like many people, I saw this as almost a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the ending of prohibition, and I kind of am knowledgeable about marijuana, so I knew that there was a lot of possible other avenues you could go with medicine, with CBD, you know, pet medicines, all kinds of things, so I'm sort of like, hey, I got to get in on this.
And you learned some things along the way, so let's start with your first lesson here, which is have a game plan.
Yeah, exactly, Francis. That's one of the first lessons I learned. You have to have a game plan before buying a stock. Is it a long-term holding, a quick swing trade? What's your exit plan? You'll likely have different plans for different stocks, maybe holding industry leaders longer as they're de-risked a bit through provincial supply deals and interest from alcohol giants. Now, sticking to a plan is the hard part with all the wild swings. As Mike Tyson once said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, and you get punched in the mouth quite often in this sector. Now, if you've done your due diligence and chosen a stock as a long-term investment, look away. That's my advice there. That doesn't mean ignoring the sector. You may want to do a daily check-in and keep up to date on industry news. I'm talking about the obsessive and incessant monitoring of the stock price. Checking your portfolio every 10 seconds and fretting over every fluctuation. You'll drive yourself bonkers and likely stray from your plan. Now, after that, I'm going to have this next one. Don't be a bozo. Avoid getting sucked in by FOMO and YOLO. FOMO stands for fear of missing out. That's when you see and hear about others making great gains and you decide to jump on board before it's too late. And it usually is too late. FOMO is closely related to YOLO, which stands for you only live once. In the stock world, YOLO prompts people to throw money into penny stocks and other high-risk, high-reward plays that rarely pan out. They're both driven by emotion, and emotion and trading are disastrous dance partners.
So you want to invest what you can afford, too, right? Like, I mean, that's a big thing.
That's a big lesson.
You don't want to put all your life savings into one basket.
After seeing my lessons, are you ready to give me some money to invest for you or not?
And no, absolutely not. And why? Because look at this face here. I mean,
there is a lot of stress.
There's a lot of stress, so no.
Well, if you don't want to take my advice, Francis, maybe you'll listen to an expert. I talked to a portfolio manager, Greg Taylor from Purpose Investments. Let's hear what he had to say.
There's a lot of risk in this space. There's a lot of hype around the space. A lot of people are throwing money at it, but not everyone's going to win. There's right now over 100 licensed companies in Canada, and really at the end of the day, I don't think 100 are going to be there 5 years from now.
What are some of the specific things you look for to differentiate the winners from the potential losers?
What I'm looking for is low cost. I think everything has to be low cost because the weed is going to commoditize really fast. You also have to be doing something different. I think oils and beverages are going to be really where the products are going to go in the next few years. And the third thing I'm looking for is international.
What advice do you give someone to just sort of stay calm and not kind of panic sell or panic buy?
Well, I think you really have to know there's going to be a lot of headlines in the next few months, so I think it's really just make sure you're on top of your positions, and if it's really keeping you up at night, take some money off the table and just make sure you've got your initial investment out.
Maybe don't invest more than you can afford to lose.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, good advice.
Yeah, all right, Francis. And Greg was also kind enough to share his top 3 marijuana stocks picks with us. You can find that on citynews.ca. And, of course, weigh any advice carefully and do your own research before investing.
All right, citynews.ca/marijuana files. Thank you, Talbot.
No problem.
Okay.